Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Badger. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my Alpha Omega High Round Guide. I'm going to be going over both the electric knife strat, which is super brain dead. You don't have to do any thinking, and you can get an easy round 100 on that. And I'm also going to go over the Trebuchet and Helion strat, which is honestly just as easy, but it provides some good, like contrast between the two. Give you more options to play this horrendous map for whatever reason. Alrighty, but for our perk setup, we're going to be going over the electric cherry, knife, E-knife, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be going over that one first. So in our modifier, we're going to be running electric cherry, and then the other three perk slots can be kind of however you want to put them, but you're going to need to run at least ethereal razor in one of them. I would recommend stone cold stronghold and time slip. Time slip's going to be really helpful because it's going to charge your specialist and your wraithfires faster, meaning you can use those more. For our specialist weapon, we're going to be running the overkill, which is the death machine. This is the best option for this strategy. For our equipment, we're going to be running wraithfires, and then for our starting weapon, you can choose whatever you want, but I prefer the strife with the stiletto knife on it. And then for our elixirs, it really doesn't matter what you're running. You can run all classics, you can run all epics, with BO4, it's not really the biggest game changer. I just like running Perkaholic and raindrops, and then also immolation. And then shields up is really helpful for the electric knife, so that way you don't have to go through the bunker every time. But if you're running classics, I would do temporal gift, arsenal accelerator, anywhere but here, and equipment. But if you're gonna use epics, I would recommend you could do. I wouldn't recommend. You can honestly run whatever. And then for your talisman, you can run the minor reinforced charm or the major reinforced charm. This just increases the amount of damage your shield can take. Or you could run the extra self-revive one. It's really just up to you. But once we get into the game, there's a couple things we need to take care of first. The first is we need to build the shield. And the second is we need to get the ballistic knife out of the box. This is why I was saying to run probably an immolation or raindrops, because we don't want to end up getting fire sales from moving the box. And when you're hitting the box, if you get monkeys, do not take them. This is a big no. Do not take monkeys. It'll mess you up. It'll just don't do it. All right. And then one of the other things, these doors that I'm shooting at right now in the yellow house, do not open these. You open these, it'll completely ruin the strategy. You cannot do it. Do not open these doors. The next thing up on our list is to turn on power, and then our first shield part is going to be in the operations on this desk. Head up the stairs, the next location can be on this filing cabinet, and then come to the garage, and then it'll be leaning against that cabinet right there. Our next location is going to be in the cul-de-sac against this green car, on the corner of this yellow bus, and then against this couch, boxes, whatever that is, right there. To get to the bunker, go through the greenhouse, go through the bottom half of it, and then you can just go straight into the bunker from here. The last shield part can be on this couch right there, on this shelving unit in the middle of those boxes, and then finally against this cabinet right in the corner. Another thing we're not going to do is turn on the generator. Do not turn on this generator. It'll ruin the strategy. Just don't do it. And then to build a shield, we're going to be building it in the greenhouse on the top floor, and it'll be a little workbench for you there. Just go ahead and build it there. And now we're basically on to the strategy. All we need is the ballistic knives. I told you the strategy is just completely brain dead and easy. And then if you need to know where the perks are, brew is in the center street. Your cola perk is going to be in the garage of the yellow house. Your soda is going to be in the diner against the back wall. And your tonic perk is going to be in the generator room against the wall. The next step is going to be getting the ballistic knife out of the box. This can be easier said than done. The BO4 box is not very nice sometimes, so give it a little bit. Once you get the ballistic knives, head over to the yellow house backyard, and you're going to come up to this ledge right here. Having blaze phase in this is going to suck because you're going to be crouching, but the strategy itself is super simple. So in the bottom you can see your tonic perk. It's going to be completely off, but once you shoot the ballistic knife at the ground and reload it, the tonic perk will come fully lit up. And when this is fully lit up and when there's color in it, this is when you're gonna have your chain electric ability. And then once it runs out, shoot the ballistic knife at the ground again, and then it's just a rinse and repeat. The reason why we're shooting it directly in front of us is because we can pick the ballistic knives back up. So you have an infinite ammo, you have infinite electric cherry. It is just stupidly easy. There's literally nothing else for me to describe this strategy than just brain dead easy. And then whenever you get your overkill, I would recommend using this just to speed up rounds. You're going to want to use the grenade launcher the most, but then once you have the nuke ability unlocked, right when your death machine is going to run out, you're going to throw your death machine or the nuke ability, and then this this will kill a good chunk of the zombies as well. But it's just a rinse and repeat of this cycle. The craziest thing is this is literally just the entire strategy. You shouldn't need to grab a shield, but it is nice to have if you're not used to this strategy yet and you do get overwhelmed, or if the zombies for some reason decide to climb up on the other side, you can have that little bit extra protection for yourself. Wraith fires we're going to use whenever we get insta kills or just to speed up rounds. You can throw them at the ground to kill the zombies before they even climb up, and it's going to speed up the rounds a little bit because, you know, you're sitting in a corner knifing. It's not really the fastest thing in the world. So for our next strategy, it's going to be a camping strategy with the Trebuchet and the Helion Salvo. So we're going to be running Stone Cold Stronghold in our modifier, HD Slider, Dying Wish, Bandolier Bandit. We're going to be using the Strife as our starting weapon, Wraith fires, and Overkill again. Once again, elixirs and the Talisman is completely up to you on what you want to use, but I just prefer these ones. It's much easier just to hit the box with Immolation to try to get the Helion out of it, so you don't have to deal with fire sales, which you're not going to be getting a lot of drops in this strategy as is. So it's just better, in my opinion, to run Immolation. Now for this strategy, we're actually going to be using most of the map. So we're going to be turning on the generator because we do need to get Pack-a-Punch open for this strategy. So you're going to have to deal with the electric crawlers, but the gas zombies really won't be too much of a factor in this strategy, especially considering we're going to let the generators go off once we have the Helion and once we have the Trebuchet fully packed. So just go ahead and play this map like you would normally for this strategy, except we're going to keep the yellow door of the house closed. Once again, do not open that. If you don't know how to get Pack-a-Punch, just find the houses with the green smoke on. You're gonna see this little like radiator, ventilation unit, whatever it is. Just keep turning that wheel until it fully turns off. You're gonna need to do this 4 times, and the easiest way to see which house it is, it's gonna have a bunch of green smoke coming out of it. So just turn those until those are fully done, and then you'll unlock Pack-a-Punch. We're gonna need to build the teleporter, so the first spot for it is right here on this sandbag. The next location is next to this dentist chair, and the third location is inside of the locker. All this is in the transfusion facility. The next location is inside of the greenhouse. Right when you walk in the front door, it'll be there in the corner, or it'll be next to these cabinets in the kitchen. And our final location is if you head up the stairs and go out onto the actual overhang of the house, it'll be right there on the ledge. Our final location is going to be in the generator room. Right next to where you activate the generator, there's going to be a spawn there. There's one in the back room by the sandbags. And then your final spot is going to be right next to the entrance next to these barrels. Now our next objective is to get the Helion out of the box and also to save up to Pack-a-Punch the Trebuchet and the Helion fully. This way you can just knock it all out at once, and then you don't actually have to keep activating the ventilation units because it's not fun to keep reactivating them. And then if you don't know where the Trebuchet wall by, it's in the greenhouse backyard along the little greenhouse thing. I don't know what it is, but it's on the wall next to it. Once you're fully set up and you have all your guns packed, we're going to go ahead and build the teleporter pad in the APD control room because the shield is obviously still built in the greenhouse. Now go to where the Trebuchet wall by is. You will see a teleporter in the back corner. Go ahead and place your teleporter down there. Then we're going to place the other one in the corner of the prisoner holding. This will make a lot of sense in a minute, but then you're ready to do the strategy. It's as simple as that. It's really not that difficult to set up. Now this is basically the exact same strategy as the electric knife, except I think this one might be a little bit slower from what I played. It felt a little bit slower, but I also could have been losing it because, I mean, these take a while. Like, this is not a fast high round by any means. You are going to have to worry about the electric crawlers somewhat. They will spawn literally right above you in the, like, corner of the house. They really can't hit you, but they can be annoying because they will try to teleport down in front of you. And if you're not prepared, well, it can be really annoying. They're not going to kill you, but it'll get really annoying. But this strategy is, again, super simple. This map has very easy strategies. To kill the crawlers, I recommend just using the shield's gun. It makes the most sense. But as soon as the zombies start crawling up the ledge, we're just gonna use the Trebuchet. And since it has explosive damage and since it goes boom, you can kill a good chunk of zombies per shot. Reloading is honestly just gonna be your hardest thing to decipher when to reload. Usually I just like reloading when I see that there's maybe one zombie coming up. I'll take a reload then. But there's really not much to explain. You're just shooting them as the zombies come up, and then as soon as you get your specialist, go ahead and use that, because because since the Trebuchet does not have a lot of ammo, even with Bandolier Bandit, we want to minimize the amount of times we have to run to the wall buy to buy ammo. This is also where the Helion comes into play, because with the Trebuchet, if you're killing him on the ledge, you're not really going to get drops, even from the dogs or the crawlers that spawn next to you. So that's why we have the Helion, because we can shoot it directly at the ground, and this will get us drops. For ammo runs, there is two ways to do this. One is to get a naturally spawned nuke, and the other one is to use your tier 3 ability of the death machine to kill all zombies on the map. It's just going to make your life a lot easier. You don't have to run through zombies to try to go get your ammo or your shield. But you're going to run straight to the teleporter and then teleport to the greenhouse backyard. You're going to run straight ahead, buy the ammo for the Trebuchet, go up the stairs to the greenhouse backyard, buy a shield if you need it. Then we're going to run through the middle of the buses, and then we're going to head back through the prisoner holding and then back up the stairs. Throw a Wraithfire on the ground if you need to. I like doing this. It'll just help clean up zombies. And then boom, you're back in the spot. You're good to go. With super sprinters, this can be a little bit challenging. So if you feel kind of like you're not too comfortable with this kind of route we're running, run with the Helion out just to be absolutely safe. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like, leave a sub, all that fun stuff. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Bonnie and Clyde down in California, fall in love on the run, trying to make it to Cabo. Romeo with a blunt, Juliet with a bottle, live like Jackie.